Lesson 7. The Indus Valley Civilization. More than 1,500 miles east of Mesopotamia, in the fertile Indus River Valley, an early civilization emerged in the 3rd millennium BCE, thriving alongside ancient Sumer. However, by the early 2nd millennium BCE, the cities of this civilization began to decline. With no written records to provide definitive explanations, historians rely on cultural artifacts to piece together theories about its rise and fall. Despite its decline, this remarkable civilization undoubtedly left a lasting impact on the societies that followed in South Asia. Originating in the Himalayan mountains, the Indus River flows southward into the Indian Ocean, carrying nutrient-rich alluvial soil that it deposits along its banks. This fertile land, located in present-day Pakistan and India, created a favorable environment for agriculture and population growth, supporting the rise of the Indus Valley Civilization, which flourished between approximately 2800 BCE and 1800 BCE. Evidence suggests that plant and animal domestication in the Indus Valley region began around 7000 BCE, though it may have started even earlier. Farmers in this region likely adopted barley and wheat cultivation techniques from the Near East, where agriculture had been practiced for thousands of years. However, some of these techniques may have also developed independently. By 5000 BCE, the people of the Indus Valley were in contact with civilizations in Egypt and Sumer. Indus Valley farmers cultivated wheat and barley, similar to their counterparts in Mesopotamia and Western Asia, while also raising cattle and sheep. Additionally, they domesticated bananas and cultivated cotton for cloth production, resources that were unknown in ancient Mesopotamia. The Neolithic Revolution played a crucial role in securing a stable food supply, leading to population growth and the establishment of permanent settlements along the Indus River, ultimately giving rise to a thriving early civilization. Around 2800 BCE, the Indus Valley Civilization experienced significant urban growth, leading to the emergence of numerous cities. The largest of these were Harappa in the northeast and Mohenjo-Daro to the southeast, located further down the river. Other major urban centers included Dholavira, Ganeriwala, and Rakhigarhi, along with many smaller but well-organized cities throughout the region. By its peak, around 2000 BCE, the civilization had expanded to include over 1,000 urban centers of varying sizes, demonstrating a highly developed and interconnected society. Although the Indus Valley Civilization was vast, its existence remained unknown to modern scholars until the early 19th century, when British excavations uncovered the ancient city of Harappa. Since Harappa was the first major site discovered, the term Harappan is often used interchangeably with Indus Valley Civilization. The best-known sites, Harappa in the north and Mohenjo-Daro in the south, have been extensively studied. At their peak, each city likely housed around 30,000 people. The civilization's political structure remains uncertain, but it may have consisted of independent city-states similar to those in ancient Sumer. Alternatively, the larger cities might have served as regional capitals overseeing smaller settlements. The consistent structural layout across sites, including a well-planned grid of streets, suggests that some form of central authority played a role in urban planning and governance. Each Indus Valley city was divided into two distinct sections, a lower residential area and an upper citadel, which was walled off from the rest of the settlement. The citadel likely served as a ceremonial center for rituals and as the residence of the ruling elite, much like the temples and palaces of ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. At Harappa, the citadel's mud brick wall was an impressive 42 feet thick at its base and nearly 50 feet high, reinforced with rectangular towers at regular intervals. Inside the citadel, platforms made of mud brick were likely used for ritual activities, including animal sacrifices. One such platform at Harappa stood 23 feet high. At Kalibangan, a site in northwestern India, archaeologists discovered a pit atop a platform containing burned cattle bones, suggesting the presence of sacrificial practices within the civilization. The citadels of Indus Valley cities also featured public baths, with the most famous example being the Great Bath at Mohenjo-Daro. This tank measured 40 feet long and 23 feet wide, with staircases on either side for entry, and was supplied with water from a nearby well. The presence of such a structure suggests that ritual purification may have been an important part of the civilization's religious practices. Archaeologists have also discovered a large hall supported by mud brick pilasters at Mohenjo-Daro, along with a multi-story residence built around an open courtyard. These findings suggest that ritual specialists, possibly priests, lived within the citadel, where they may have performed religious ceremonies that involved bathing in the public bath and gathering in the hall. Additionally, an extensive granary was found at Mohenjo-Daro, indicating that surplus crops from rural areas were stored to sustain the elite, religious figures, and city residents such as merchants and artisans, similar to grain storage systems in Mesopotamia and Egypt. The lower sections of the cities contained residential quarters and workshops. At Mohenjo-Daro and Kalibangan, homes were typically built around a central courtyard and featured 4 to 6 rooms, with wells providing running water for bathrooms. Some larger homes had up to 30 rooms and multiple stories. Evidence also suggests that certain buildings had ventilation devices on their roofs that channeled wind into the interiors, providing an early form of air cooling. The Indus Valley cities also had designated industrial areas where workshops were located. At Harappa, this district included living quarters for the labourers who worked there, indicating a structured urban economy. The ancient city of Lothal, near the Indian Ocean, featured a dockyard and a warehouse for storing trade goods, highlighting the civilization's involvement in long-distance commerce. The presence of such infrastructure suggests that Lothal was an important trade hub, possibly facilitating exchanges with Mesopotamia, as indicated by Mesopotamian records mentioning trade with a land called Meluha, believed to be the Indus Valley region. The cities likely housed artisans and merchants who produced and traded goods, supporting the ruling elite and urban economy. However, the majority of the population were probably farmers living in surrounding rural areas, providing the agricultural surplus necessary for sustaining the cities, much like in ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt. Archaeological discoveries confirm extensive trade between Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley. Cuneiform tablets from Mesopotamia refer to the Indus Valley as Meluha and document imports of precious stones like lapis lazuli and carnelian, as well as marine shells from the Indian Ocean. These luxury goods were highly valued in Mesopotamian society, often used for jewelry, ornamentation, and religious artifacts. Trade routes connected the two civilizations both by sea and land. Merchants likely travelled across the Indian Ocean, reaching Mesopotamian ports in the Persian Gulf, while overland routes passed through the Iranian plateau. The presence of standardized weights and seals in both regions suggests that merchants used a regulated system for transactions, reinforcing the idea of sustained commercial interactions. The use of seals in the Indus Valley civilization reflects a strong influence from Mesopotamia, particularly in trade and administration. Indus Valley seals, typically square in shape, featured depictions of animals such as bulls, goats, and mythical creatures, along with inscriptions that likely represented names, titles, or occupations. These seals were pressed into soft clay to mark ownership of goods, securing jars or grain sacks, much like the cylinder seals used in Mesopotamia. The discovery of Indus Valley seals in Mesopotamian cities like suggests direct trade connections between the two civilizations. This exchange not only facilitated commerce, but also indicates shared administrative techniques and possible cultural interactions. While the exact meaning of the Indus script remains undeciphered, the presence of these seals highlights the sophistication of economic and bureaucratic systems in the Indus Valley. The script found on many seals from the Indus Valley civilization remains one of the most enigmatic aspects of their culture, as scholars have yet to decipher it. This script appears to be composed of phonograms, symbols representing syllabic sounds, with an estimated 400 different signs. There is speculation that this language may be related to the Dravidian languages still spoken in southern India today, or it might share similarities with the script used by the Elamites of southwestern Iran. Unlike the well-documented written records of Mesopotamia and Egypt, which include clay tablets and papyrus rolls, no comparable documents have been found in the Indus Valley. This lack of such materials makes understanding the full extent of their written language and the function it served in their society particularly challenging. Despite this, the presence of these seals suggests that writing played an important role in trade, administration, and cultural expression in the Indus Valley. By the 3rd millennium BCE, bronze technology likely spread to the Indus Valley through trade with Mesopotamia. This technological exchange may have included the export of tin from the mountainous regions of Afghanistan to Mesopotamia. As tin was a critical component for manufacturing bronze, the presence of tin in the Indus Valley, alongside copper, suggests that the people of the region may have played a role in facilitating the production of bronze, an essential material for tools, weapons, and various artifacts. This trade, in turn, highlights the interconnectedness of the ancient civilizations in the Near East and the Indus Valley, fostering the exchange of materials and technologies. Despite the clear influences from Mesopotamia and trade connections with the region, the Indus Valley civilization developed a distinctive culture of its own. Their religious beliefs and practices may have had a lasting impact on later cultures in India. Evidence of this is found in the clay figurines believed to represent deities, which often depict a goddess with female attributes similar to those of the Hindu goddess Durga, consort of the god Shiva. Additionally, some seals feature a horned three-faced figure surrounded by animals, resembling the Hindu god Shiva when depicted as the lord of the animals. Archaeologists have also uncovered stones shaped like lingams and yonis, symbols representing male and female sexual organs tied to the worship of Shiva. The burial practices of the Indus people further suggest spiritual beliefs, as they interred their dead with modest grave goods, such as clay pots, hinting at a belief in an afterlife. However, unlike the grand temples and monumental tombs found in Egypt and Mesopotamia, there is no evidence of large-scale temples or elaborate royal tombs in the Indus Valley. This indicates that while the religious practices may have been significant, they were likely expressed differently than in other contemporary civilizations. The artisans of the Indus Valley were highly skilled, producing distinctive works in clay, stone, and bronze. One of the most remarkable stone sculptures from Mohenjo-Daro depicts a serene, bearded man who may have been a priest or a leader within the community, showcasing the artistry and possibly the spiritual or political significance of the time. In addition to this, a small bronze figurine of a young woman dancing reflects the refinement in the crafting of delicate, detailed figures. Her adornments, such as bracelets and necklaces, suggest that these accessories were not only decorative, but may also have been symbols of high social status. Furthermore, artisans in the Indus Valley were also adept at pottery making and seal production, which played important roles in daily life and trade. Their artistic styles and designs influenced neighboring cultures, stretching across a vast region that included the upper Ganges River Valley, parts of modern-day northwestern India, Baluchistan in Pakistan, and even southeastern Iran. This wide-reaching influence highlights the interconnectedness of the Indus Valley civilization with its surrounding regions and its lasting cultural impact. Merchants from the Indus Valley played an important role in trade, exchanging goods across regions even without the use of coinage. Instead, they relied on a common system of stone cubical weights to measure and assess goods during commercial exchanges that often involved barter. These standardized weights likely made transactions smoother and more equitable. Additionally, the same system of weights could have been employed by the cities of the Indus Valley to assess taxes in kind, such as grains, which were collected and stored in granaries. This system reflects an organized approach to trade and governance, supporting the economic structure of the civilization. The decline of the Indus Valley civilization around 1800 BCE is a subject of much debate among historians and archaeologists. Several theories have been proposed to explain this mysterious collapse. One commonly held view is that climate change played a significant role. Around 2000 BCE, dramatic shifts in the floodplain of the Indus River may have caused the river to divert, creating dry riverbeds where once fertile lands had supported agriculture and trade. Changes in monsoon patterns, critical for water and irrigation, could have disrupted the agricultural system, leading to a loss of food resources and a decline in population. Another theory suggests that long-term environmental degradation caused by over-urbanization, overpopulation, and deforestation gradually made the land unsustainable. With increasing human activity, the ecosystem may have been compromised, leading to a decline in crop yields and making the area less hospitable for human habitation. Other scholars have proposed the idea of tectonic activity, where earthquakes or shifts in the Earth's crust altered the course of rivers, cutting off access to water. Some even suggest that epidemic diseases could have led to a catastrophic loss of life, further contributing to the downfall of the civilization. For many years, the prevailing view was that the Indus Valley civilization had been destroyed by a violent invasion from the Aryans, a group of nomadic Indo-European speakers. These Aryans, who were believed to have migrated from the Eurasian steppe around 3500 BCE, gradually spread into the regions of Europe, Anatolia, Iran, and South Asia. However, there is now more focus on environmental and internal factors rather than solely attributing the decline to external invasions. The Aryan invasion theory has long been a subject of scholarly debate, particularly due to its reliance on the Rig Veda, one of the oldest Indo-European religious texts, composed between 1500 and 1000 BCE. The Rig Veda contains hymns, rituals, and descriptions of deities, but also includes references to the arrival of the Aryans in the Indian subcontinent. Some passages speak of the Aryans attacking fortified cities and confronting indigenous populations. This has led some scholars to speculate that these descriptions may reflect the conquest of the Indus Valley cities, such as Mohenjo-Daro. However, the Rig Veda was composed centuries after the fall of the Indus Valley civilization, and many scholars argue that the hymns were not intended as historical accounts. Additionally, there are doubts about whether these passages are specifically related to the collapse of the Indus Valley or if they are more symbolic or exaggerated stories. Despite this, some archaeological evidence, including signs of destruction at Mohenjo-Daro around 1500 BCE, has given some credibility to the theory that there was a violent confrontation between the Aryans and the indigenous people of the region. The archaeological evidence for such a conflict is not definitive, though. The destruction of Mohenjo-Daro could have been caused by other factors, such as natural disasters, internal conflict, or the aforementioned environmental changes. The theory of an Aryan invasion remains one possible explanation, But it is by no means the only one, and the debate continues as more research is conducted into the fall of the Indus Valley civilization. The collapse of the Indus Valley civilization remains one of the great mysteries of ancient history. It is likely that multiple factors contributed to its decline, and these factors may have worked together in a complex way. Environmental degradation, caused by the overexploitation of natural resources and the pressures of urbanization, could have weakened the region's ability to support its large population. The loss of fertile land due to deforestation, over-farming, or other forms of resource depletion may have played a role in diminishing food and water supplies. Additionally, climate change, specifically shifts in the monsoon patterns, could have caused disruptions to the water systems that supported agriculture and daily life in the region. If the flow of the Indus River changed significantly, it would have left the cities vulnerable to drought and a lack of irrigation. Epidemic diseases could have further compounded these challenges, leading to a decline in population. In conclusion, in this weakened state, the people of the Indus Valley would have been more susceptible to external threats. The theory of an Aryan invasion or raids by nomadic groups might explain some of the violence and destruction seen in places like Mohenjo-Daro around 1500 BCE. Regardless of the exact cause, the result was the collapse of a once thriving civilization. By 1500 BCE, many of the cultural markers of the Indus Valley, such as its distinctive architectural style, its writing system, and advanced metalworking, were abandoned. The cities, once bustling with activity, became depopulated or fell into ruin. With the loss of these sophisticated urban features, the Indus Valley civilization effectively came to an end and its legacy faded into history. See you in the next lesson.